So I welcome you all to this another session of Heritage Darbar. Today we'll be talking about something special. So basically when we talk about Delhi and Delhi's heritage, monuments are one thing that, from where we start. And if there is a proper study of all the monuments, study in a pictorial way, this one name comes to our mind. Because this is one person for the very first time who actually engaged someone to do a pictorial representation, a pictorial study of all the monuments that were in a good shape and accessible to the British at that time. Today we have got some 1300 monuments, a list of 1300 monuments with us, which was last published in 1905 by Maulvi Zafar Hassan. It has been 8 years today. I've been trying to locate all those monuments. I've found some 700 so far. The rest are gone. And we're glad that today, hopefully, we get to see few of them which no longer exist. We've got their paintings, thanks to this lady. I'll not tell too much about who this person is, why he or she wrote this book, and how we reached it, because that's the job that our speaker will do today. So Nilesh has been associated with Delhi Heritage Photography Club and our Youth for Heritage Foundation for quite some time. He comes from army background, and he keeps us telling interesting stories about the life in army. And last year he also took a session on 1857 mutiny, where he told us about all the battle formations that were done, the equipment, ammunition, the weapons that were used. Because as a layman, when we start reading, we usually talk about barrack courses. These people started, they just came, they took over Delhi, they started fighting. Thank you, the end. No, that's not, because the technicalities, that's where Youth for Heritage actually comes into picture. We get into technicalities, we study the complete journey so that we can understand it properly, that if this thing happened, why it happened, can it happen again, can we stop it, can we improve the situation. And he has been very instrumental in that, and I am sure, because before you all joined us, me and Nilesh, we were having a discussion on this. And he gave me a few pointers that even I was not aware of, and I was pretty excited. So, looking forward for this talk, Nilesh sir right now is part of the governing body of Youth for Heritage Foundation. He looks after a major aspect, that is heritage activism that we do. Though we are not doing it at full scale right now, we're taking baby steps. We're trying to improvise in some areas, coordinating with schools and colleges, working on some monuments, but we are very hopeful that pretty soon we'll cover entire Delhi, and then we'll go beyond as well. So I'll not take too much time. I'll invite Nilesh sir.
Thank you all for coming. I think Vikramjit is being very modest when he says that I showed him something that he didn't know, because what I know, he's probably forgotten already. So Vikram, please, when I'm talking in a public forum, don't make me nervous already. Okay, so with that, let me begin with a confession. Now, I am by no stretch of imagination a scholar or a historian or an expert, and I'm sure the collective knowledge in this room, I'm painfully aware, far exceeds mine. Vikramjit is a living example. So, with that background, what I'll do is I'll go through this book and the contents, and I'll just share with you what I felt when reading through the book, and then discovered that this book is about a book. And the book is not just about the author, but it's also about so many other characters who formed a great part of Delhi's, Shahjahanabad's history. And I thought it's nice to share it with people who have similar interests. Vikramjit and I discussed, and we said we can do this talk. So, I'll request you to keep your questions towards the end. We can have a nice discussion when more people join, and I'm sure they can add to the content of the presentation. And in the meanwhile, I'll try and make it interactive as possible, so that it's not just me who's talking. So, although the book says it's the memoirs of Metcalfe and his daughter, Emily Metcalfe, the books are here. You can take some, if you want, you can browse through it after the talk, because the book is not available today. You can journey in less than 2 hours by Indigo or spice. This is Thomas Metcalfe, her father. He arrived in Delhi in 1813 and lived here for almost 40 years. He never went back. In 1830, he began to build what we know today as Metcalfe House on the outskirts of Delhi and on the land that belonged to Gujars. In 1835, Metcalfe became the agent at Delhi after the murder of William Fraser, who was his predecessor, and ran the Delhi territory around the old capital under British control. His main objective or his main function was to make sure that after Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was the last Mughal emperor, the British take over Red Fort and exile the Mughals to wherever and ensure that the East India Company is kind of takes over from there, takes over Delhi. And as a result, they say that he was poisoned by one of Bahadur Shah Zafar's wife, and he died in 1853.